Okay, everybody, my name is Henry Salas, aka the Mouth Ninja. Can I draw? Can paint with my mouse. You can check out my work in Instagram at the Mouth Ninja or in Facebook at the Mouth Ninja. Check me out. Can you watching me at John the Ninja?
Ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? I am John the Ninja, live in the dojo, aka the Dojang, aka the John the Ninja Studios. What a week it has been. I was just talking to the individual I have with me, and I was saying, you know what? Usually I complain, but not this time. It's been a good week. And speaking of the person I am having communication with, he is followed by my favorite 007 actor, Pierce Brosnan. The man himself follows him. The person I speak of here doesn't do interviews often, and I'm so grateful that he's doing one with me. He's been featured on NBC, he's been on KS and Kindness, and he's graciously taken time out of his very busy schedule to speak with me. He's a creative director, freelance director, website manager, and editor. He also is a social media influencer, but we're here to talk about his art. His alias is the Mouth Ninja, which we're gonna have to talk about our copyright problem in a couple of minutes. And we're
Yeah.
we're going to talk about his story because on 11/11/11, exactly at 11, he experienced 45 minutes that would change his life. An unknown autoimmune disease, traverse myelitis, attacked his neck, affecting his spinal cord, rendering him disabled and paralyzed from the neck down. The doctors gave him 3 months to live, and during that time, he also experienced blindness and comas. But as he likes to say, the body will survive. The body wants to live, and so did he. And he started to rehabilitate. Having ability from his neck up, he one day saw one of his nurses with an iPad and what you call one of those pens, and he sparked an idea that led him on an 8-year journey. Today, the Mouth Ninja is a artist, digital and pen on paper. Because if you don't do it on paper, guys, the real artists say it don't count. He's one of those. But
Yeah.
his journey has allowed him to amass not only working with some of the most prolific people in the field, but allowing him to also grow his brand and his name to let people know that you can keep going and you need to keep fighting, as he is a big persona for mental health awareness. Some of his accolades include over 500,000 followers on Instagram, collaborating with brands such as Recycle Percussion, an Emmy-winning TV show called Chaos and Kindness, we already mentioned it, and his episode also was nominated for 2 Emmys. Ladies and gentlemen, gracing me with his time and presence today, we have a Mr. Henry Salas. Senor, how are you doing, sir?
Hey, man. It's good morning over here in Cali, but you know, I can't really complain as well. But thank you for this, for the interview and for your time as well, and for the introduction. Appreciate that.
No problem, man. Because I didn't tell the people. I was apologizing profusely to him because I made a boo boo on the email, and I was like, "Oh, he don't do interviews like that." I might have just shot myself in the foot. So, man,
Uh,
thank you. So first things first, before we get to our ninja argument with our lawyers going back and forth, man,
yeah.
you did this beautiful portrait of the Joker, Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, and you
Yes.
said that I'm a Mark Hamill fan when it comes to the Joker. You said you a Heath Ledger fan when it comes to the Joker, so I need to know why you going with Heath over Mark, because that laugh, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like it's just one of those movies where you have a superhero and a villain. And sometimes you're like, is who's a good guy here? Like, are we going with the villain or with the Batman? A good actor. Can't deny that. Um, but I don't know, that just gravitates more to just my entertainment. Per se, I can go into the semantics of, entertainment or cinematics, but yeah, it's just something more more entertaining to me how the story was brought. It was like a yin yang for both. Both kind of with without each other. So, but you tell me why would the Joaquin?
I love the dichotomy of how they've taken the Joker in every iteration and made it special to whatever Batman they're dealing with. Of course, with the Heath Ledger and the Mark Hamill, this is this back and forth. They both need each other because they both fulfill what the other is trying to achieve in certain mental aspects. As far as like even going all the way back to the Adam West version. It's always fascinating to see how they reinvent the Joker. But Batman's an interesting
Yeah,
character, man. If I had $100 million like that, I want to be fighting crime.
yeah,
I might be helping the
yeah.
police fight crime, but I ain't gonna go
Yo,
out and do
I
it.
gotta say, the last Batman, yeah,
You didn't like it?
I don't know, man.
Wait, is it like the Spider-Man situation we had? Like, well, Toby's a great Peter, but he's not the best Spider-Man, and then Tom's the best of all two. Do you feel like he didn't nail both personas, or do you just didn't like the way he presented Batman, the character?
The last Batman with with had the Penguin involved, but I don't know whether I wasn't really paying attention. There was just so much going on. Just the mood. I think the mood was a big change. And the mood was not mainly about Batman, it was just mainly about just his downfalls, you can say. So it was not much action. That's from what I saw. Maybe I gotta rewatch it. It's just one of those movies. Sometimes you gotta rewatch it again. But I'm more like a Marvel guy. Don't I'm a Marvel guy. So I think Marvel got it has it down. But we'll see what happens with Marvel. You know. But other than that, to be honest, I don't watch a lot of film. I'm always busy. I'm almost a one man show. So it's how social media is. It's a back and forth, responding to the followers, emails, trying to focus on the art, trying, it's difficult doing it with my mouth, trying to be a ninja over here, like I said, our lawyers are going to go back and forth, to see who's who got the rights for this ninja, man. Because,
I really do want to stress how kind Henry is, especially with the email, because he does do a lot. If you really want to get the bulk of his work, you have to go to his website. Just fabulous, beautiful portraits, which we're going to get to. But I really want to stress how actually busy he is with all his projects. It's just overwhelming. You know, who gave you the name Ninja, the mouth ninja? Because like I said, man, it was bestowed on me by people that took a liking to me that were so kind in an environment where nicknames were the thing. If you got a nickname, that pretty much established you are part of that community. So when I took it, I
yeah,
was kind of like, oh, that's a little corny, but I ran with it, and it's open doors, So I know how important the name can be. I was curious, who did somebody dub you that because of your love of what us being Hispanics?
yeah,
We love
yeah,
a lot of that
yeah,
stuff. How'd you come up with it?
yeah.
How'd you get it?
It just, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna put ninja. It's just a skill particular skill that it's consistency. It's a lot of dedication, a lot of belief in what you're gonna do and how you uh how you carry your how you carry yourself, all that. It's like a kind of like a Swiss Army. Uh, Hey, you got all the tools, so I do a little bit of everything. I do digital painting, I do illustrations, I can do logos, I can do 3D art, I can do traditional, I've done my own website. And just I guess that's the only way I could put it unless I would have gone like Swiss Army Henry or something like what I mean? But I just felt that way, and I know, dude. I get bad comments because of the mouth ninja thing, but I will keep it PG. You know what I'm saying? But the haters, they just want to hate, man. But it's all love. It's all love. It's all about love, man. I don't mind. It comes with it.
I'm just gonna say he's older than me by 2 years. He got 32, so the lawyers were like, he might have you on that name. I was like, all right, all right, all right. I had to cool off my chest.
Nah,
But
bro, and in the past, so respect to those past ninjas that have paved the way for us. Let's
shout
just
out
say that.
shout out to Nagano if y'all know Ninja Warrior like that. But Papa,
Yeah.
you in LA, you out of Orange County. I wanted to know because you said something very interesting to me, and I kind of had a little bit of an epiphany myself recently. So this is why your words stuck with me. You said that you're a new Henry now, as opposed to what
Yeah.
you were at first, and it was a little bit more than just the physical aspects of your condition. I wanted to know what life was like for you prior to what your those dreams that you had to put on hold, those aspirations were. What changed? What was your outlook? What were you doing before the illness? Because I know we're going to talk about her. Your mom has been such an important figure and a driving force of what when you do things, she's at the forefront of like, I want to do this for her.
Big shout out to Mama. I'm sure she'll watch this. You know, but she's been by my side. 100. She's been by my side, and before I got sick. My aspirations was being the typical, graduating from college, university. I was aspiring to be a mechanical aviation engineer, working with Mercedes. So life was really, picking up its pace for me. Um, but like life goes, it's a force of nature. It's energy that it just, it happens, and just my life naturally decided to take a different course. Um, as opposed to new Henry is that, the past is the past, and try to live in the now. Because once you contemplate on living on the future, you get a bit anxious, You get some anticipations and I've been in this journey, where it's God first and trying to manifest through God and through the universe and everything else, how act and hold myself, how where I want to be, you know, the confidence, being uncomfortable while I'm uncomfortable, you know, um, a lot of barriers I had to break, to become that person and just mildly change and you could say morph into a different persona, a different, I mentally, especially mentally, but also artistically.
I do want to stress your thinking when everything went down, but when we hear these things, like, especially in our pasts, we talk about like when we went through something and we're trying to give somebody advice, we're fully aware, even though we're telling them like, hey, you're going through this,
Yeah,
they're not listening, they can't hear it.
that's
We've gone through it,
yeah,
they're going through it.
yeah,
Could you really break it down that not so much when everything was happening, but there was a moment where you were in the coma and you had this outer body experience, and it
yeah,
was like God was showing you the universe. And people can say, well, that was the brain doing chemical structure and the mind was trying to work with it. It could have been
yeah,
actually spiritual, where more of the religious ideas. But could you break down what lessons or things you experienced? Because listening and comparing to other conversations, it's kind of like you had an ayahuasca journey,
yeah,
but more pure. And then you said, demons were attacking you, and it just seems so spiritual. And just from that story alone, I felt like, well, man, I'd come out a different John too after that.
yeah,
But then you come back to reality and you have to adjust. Could you tell me what that journey was like in the coma and then
yeah,
coming back to
yeah.
consciousness?
Well, to clear things out, this happened 2018. I got sick 2011. So after I got sick, this happened via I got this experience where it was coma hallucination, coma, and then almost near death. So it's like my brain was going through this. I was, it was, so it was all through ammonia going to my brain as a gas. So my my state of being would go from hallucination to going to coma to near death, bouncing back. And this happened, what, from what I heard, it was about 20 something days. But I
Uh-huh.
was gone. I was gone, dude. I was out in the universe. I was gone. I was in the past. I was with pharaohs. I went to the future. And this experience it really, I didn't second guess the word of God either, but it's like I thought to myself, is it a life I live, or is it something I'm going to strive for? Or is it something that it's a reflection of the thoughts that I've had? But then I also thought about it, and 80% of the stuff I saw and I did was I never thought of, you know what I mean? It never went through my mind. It never, nothing that was subconsciously happening. And how can such information be enhanced? So I remember some of the doctors got wind of it, and the University of Chicago, I forgot what department, gave me a call about it, and they wanted to know more about it. So, I mean, it was another out of body experience in a way that it was also in the third person. So it's me in the flesh, in the spirit, and just being with God and seeing those perspectives, kind of like a shattered glass. And you could just call it, just think about it as what, Doctor Strange, the multi-universe. Think about it like that. All right. You are you, but these timelines are real. But you're still you. But the purpose is the same. You have the same purpose, which we could call it a prophecy, whatever, call it whatever you want. But it made me realize that there's so much to us than, than just the simplicity of, our actions, and, what the consequences that come with our actions, in whatever aspect you want to put it in, financial health, psychological, in any way. But what I'm trying to say pretty much is just, um, yeah, there's so much that we can dig into our own mentality to overcome our situations. Because the body's one thing and the soul is another. The body, no matter what, it's going to try to survive. But your soul, your faith, whatever you believe in, that's a higher, that's a higher form of survival. You could say no. You could say no. Yeah, I don't want to go through this. Oh, I don't know. I don't want to go through this. But nothing's going to happen, because the body is one thing. To me, the body is one thing, but your mentality, your faith, your hope, your beliefs, your morals, whatever, are different than what your body thinks. Your body don't really care. If you just won $1 million, body could shut down just like that, just like what happened to me. So yeah, that's. But like you say, sometimes to some people it goes through one ear, it goes through the other, but they don't see the perspective.
My mother has told me in her numerous ways people are more sensitive to certain things, and I think you have a sensitivity to the spiritual, to experience that. Like me, man, I get confused at the thinking of it. I had a teacher say, John, it can't rain
Yeah,
and rain at the same time. I'm like, I know this philosophy, but if it's raining right here,
yeah,
it's not raining.
yeah,
I was so confused. So to be able to experience it lends the idea of like, hey, you're on a different spectrum of understanding than others. For me,
yeah,
when something happens terrible, at least in the past, I always have my faith in God. I know there's
yeah,
a reason, even if he's like, you know what, I'm just letting you guys do you. My hands are out of it. There's always an explanation of why it happened, even if God had or didn't have his force behind
mhm,
it. You know, when this happened to you, what was a moment where you kind of just let go? We have so many thoughts when bad things happen. I remember when my friend passed away at work. It was the idea of there being no God and it just happening randomly made me feel a
yeah,
little better than okay. I'm gonna stick to my true belief. There is a God. He's gonna work this out
yeah,
because her dad also was disabled. She was the breadwinner for her parents. She was helping them. She was going through all the stress, and it's just after all the suffering and pain, we were finally coming out on the other side, and she passed. So in your situation, was there a person that, during the initial of like the reality of everything setting in, did a person walk up to you, say something, and give you that comfort to be like, okay, it's time to fight? Or did you have that conversation with God? Like, I don't know why, but you know what? I have this comfort that you're going to get me through. Did, did you have something similar to that?
you know, I played the guitar and I sung for the Catholic Church. But oh, I was really confused as to really, you know, accepting Jesus and, like just like yourself. It's sometimes, the different religions stretch and pull, different ways on what you should believe in. And if you don't believe in this won't happen. And I see why a lot of people get confused, but for me, it was just plain and simple, right? Right to the man, right to the man, and just talk to him. And, same as my mom, I got like this. There was talk of why and maybe who, but I just stuck with God and just said, only you could take care of me from this point. This is in your hands. I'll just leave it like that. Whatever happens will happen. I was given 3 months and to live, and if I survive those 3 months, I will be blind. So, my process, my thinking, everything is, I'm screwed. Everything's screwed. I can't feel nothing. I'm paralyzed. I could only blink. So at that moment, you pretty much, you're like, yeah, whatever. It is, whatever. Your mind ain't like thinking about like, oh, this and that. It's just you're out of it. But yeah, pretty much. I just, I just talk to God and every day and pray. And since I was with the Catholic Church at the time, I would pray to the Virgin Mary, and but not you have to meet God halfway as well. It doesn't work that way. that miracles do happen, but I think God tests us and He wants to see if you're willing to meet halfway or not. A lot of people say, well, why can't I be like this or have that or I want to accomplish this? Well, you have to put in the work, you know? You got to meet halfway. But that was my thinking pretty much, Uh, did I give up at times? Maybe I had those thoughts, but I said, nah, it is what it is pretty much. Yeah.
Man, it's a comfort to know when you have that peace of mind. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
sometimes he might be hitting you. But man, we're getting too religious on this. We gotta go back. I need to figure this
Yeah.
out, bro. Because we
It's all
have a
good, man.
lot in common. We love our Marvel. We're both guitar
Yeah.
players. But man, I don't know what
Yeah.
type of Spanish you are. I want to say Mexicano. I wanted to say Chicano because I saw your paintings. I'm like, okay, I'm feeling it. But man,
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
you Puertorriqueño? Dígame.
I was born in Texas. Mi papá es de Monterrey. Mi mamá es hondureña. Y pues, I got almost all of the Americas in me, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, my first language is Spanish. Pretty much you can say. Well, no, it's almost the same now, but yeah, I learned English. I was born in Texas. Moved out here to Cali. But yeah, that's, you could say, Hispanic. And, you know, I, I used to, I love, I still love those, lowrider magazines, going to the back of Walmart and everything, going back to those car magazines, where I had all the magazines, or whatever genre you liked, or whatever craft you liked to have, and that was that was that was our catalog back then. That was our little Instagram back then. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like now. So it's a lot of reach now. And depending on your word, the authenticity, and can get you places now. Like my boy Devon. Yeah, that boy is skyrocketing. But it's all love, man. It's all love. People can see it and people will follow and the rest comes.
I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I'm a big fan of that style. Shout out to Mike Murray, Jason Clown Brown, another past podcast, my brother. But that's such
Yeah,
a unique style. I love the just the. Sorry, because I was confusing Puerto Rican culture, Mexican culture with that culture. It's a totally different
yeah,
vibe. It's like a combination.
yeah.
But man, that's great to hear you know Spanish too, because I need a Spanish teacher. How much you want an hour?
Ah, well, you know what? Now that I think about it, I should start a Patreon, bro. Some
Man,
Patreons. And now, no hablas mucho que español.
yo entiendo un poquito. Cuando soy un niño, yo no entiendo la palabra es correcto, pero cuando un niño, mi madre hablamos, ella puertorriqueño, mi padre negro y blanco, etcétera. Y yo no entiendo. So, mi abuela, mis tías, toda la familia entiendo y yo escucho, like, yo no oí las palabras. Yo
Oh,
solo la R, I was like, get out. So, cuando yo piense en la escuela de la biblioteca, yo hablamos con una persona y la situación muy mal y yo no ayuda a la persona. So yo sentí like, oh, yo necesito entiendo un poquito. So yo mira la Netflix, like Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Narcos en español. So yo entiendo las palabras, pero cuando en la escuela yo tiene es, ves, I'm like,
yeah,
¿qué carajo? ¿Por qué no
yeah,
entiendo?
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's,
yeah,
yo quiero entiendo, yo sentir mal porque, no, no sabe cómo dice embarrassing, but mi madre dije no importa, pero you sentir like, it's mi
yeah,
sangre, no es, I don't know how to say how it's not fair to them for me
yeah,
not to
yeah, yeah.
know.
I know what you mean. Yeah, it's it's just by using the tongue, bro. Who cares? Just keep using that Puerto Rican tongue, homie.
Pause. Hold on. We got some bad thinkers on this podcast. But you know what?
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'm trying. I've been in work situations where I tried, but I tend to
yeah,
I tend to piss off the people because I tell them like, hey, I don't understand Spanish, and then I'll talk, and then they'll get angry at me
yeah,
like,
I feel you now, man. It is what it is, bro. When we grow up, you know, um, it all depends, especially the access you have or in the household you're in. Because when I grew up, it was all Spanish, everything Spanish. School bilingual. I had to do bilingual, but language is an art in itself. Just communicating in a different tongue, with the different emphasis in every word and every language. But bro, keep using that Puerto Rican style, just keep using it and slowly and surely, just like my mom learning English, bro, yeah, I remember I would sometimes laugh and I don't want to make her feel some type of way either. But I would correct her and sometimes she would take it some type of way. But I'm like, no, mom, I'm like, no, mama, I'm just trying to tell you this is how it's supposed to sound. And sure enough, now her English is pretty good. It's understandable. You can have a conversation with anybody, speaks English. So yeah, it's just building up. It's just like what I do. It's just that consistency. Just keep doing it, keep doing it, just repeating it. If you're alone, bro, who cares? No one gonna get mad at you.
I do have a story because apparently, man, when I cook, the Spanish comes out. So, but you know what? Hold
there
on,
you go, bro.
because you said something. You said the consistency. You said it
Yeah,
took it 8 years to create these portraits. And guys, go to Patreon, go to his website. You can check it out on his Instagram. Patron. I'm sitting here and I'm like, some of these. I'm a lover of art. I go to art galleries. I ain't gonna buy nothing. Let's put that. I ain't got money like that yet.
yeah,
But there's this communication, this moment in time in a picture, and I wanted to know when you actually started getting going, when you started creating. You were very dead set on, I have to put this on paper. Where did that
yeah,
concept come from? That's kind of like the skater culture, where, in reality, if you're out in the world, people say if you do it once, you can claim you did it. Not for skateboarders. You gotta do that shit 2 times before you can claim
yeah,
you did it. So,
yeah,
what was it about the actual art on paper? I understand you have to be more careful, you have to be very consistent because there's no going back. But to
yeah,
me, it's like when people create music on a computer versus an instrument. I can't see the disconnect spiritually of the art being created.
Yeah, well, to clarify, I don't have Patreon yet, but like you said, it's like from it's like creating music and actually the playing it on the guitar, go to the percussion or whatever, or the brass or whatever you're doing electronically. Because I was trying to do scores, I was trying to do music scores at first, but I'm like, nah, hell nah, like, this is too hard. I'm like, this is like 5 languages, trying to learn like 5 languages in one. But yeah, now, uh, especially with AI, now you gotta show your work. But I just wanted to really put it on paper. I really wanted to see how much of the skill I had, because I'm self-taught in some ways. I did take some courses. I did go to some Udemy and stuff. But I wanted to see what level am I on? Like, what am I about? Because, I mean, I can see the sentiment. Because I would see, like, oh, that's digital, that's easy, and, you could control Z, you could go back and you could change this. So I remember telling one of the nurses, come on, you know what, dude, I had it. I'm like, give me a stack of printing paper, got a ballpoint pen, just tape it to a stick, like the one I'm have in my mouth right now. Like, only reason I have it in my mouth, because if something goes wrong, like, I'll have to call somebody, like, and then, you know what I'm saying, a delay or something. So, excuse me if I still have it in my mouth, but I could drop it. You know what? I'll drop it, bro.
Progress.
Oh no, we're not skipping this, bro. This is going in the video. I was like,
Yeah,
oh shit, ugh.
yeah,
I was cussing and
yeah, yeah,
screaming.
yeah,
I was like, what did I do? Damn this internet. Damn you
yeah.
internet.
Nah,
Satan.
nah,
Satan.
nah, bro. It's my fault. It's my fault. You know why? Because with my pen, so on my drawing tablet, I got shortcut keys on the top. And at the very end, I got three little secret shortcut keys. So when I moved my pen over there, for some reason, bro, I clicked the power off to shut down shortcut key. Everything just shut down. I was like, yo, that's messed up.
That's
I'm
funny.
like, I'm over here trying to work things out. I'm like, man, I gotta open this, open that. But now I'm back over here. I'm back. Come back.
Man,
I'm back now.
man, I don't even know what we were talking about. Let's move on, cause now I'm just excited to see you again. Let's talk
Yeah,
Marvel.
yeah,
Let's
yeah.
talk this. But I know we were talking about writing. We were talking about you drawing.
Putting my art into paper, and yeah, dude, I just had to prove it to myself. And I just had to prove it to myself that I have to, you know, I just I just had I was like, man, if I don't do this on paper, man, then then I have some advantage because I'm doing it digitally, man. So yeah, like I just told the nurse, just give me a stack of painting paper, kind of ballpoint pen, kind of stick, and I have a video of like one of the first ballpoint pen drawings I did, and I was like, yo, I was like, what the fuck, like, dude, this is crazy, and like, I'm legit. I got the skills. I know, like I have the eyes for it. I don't need no tracing, no gridding, no nothing. 'Cause I started that way. I would grid stuff. But there's a skill to painting, and everything. But all of that, I tell a lot of artists, especially just starting off, you gotta let that go, at some point you gotta let go of the safe zone of like tracing or grading or something. Which there's nothing wrong with it. Do your thing, but just let us know, put a little asterisks in it, let us like AI, and I appreciate like AI accounts are putting, AI painting of so and so and so, because it should be like that, bro. People should be aware of now of AI and an artist or an artist's work, I'm sure you heard of this debate, like
I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I'm a big on sci-fi, so anytime I see something with
yeah,
AI, I totally understand everything people are concerned about as far as it taking jobs and etc. There's a valid,
yeah,
but for me, I have this romanticism, kind of not like not kind of like, oh, hold on, we're not gonna drop that. You dropped the pen this
yeah.
time.
I dropped it, bro.
All
It's
right.
getting real, homie.
Well,
It's
show that
getting,
smile for the people. Show that smile for the people.
hey, bro. Okay, they gotta know where this Mouth Ninja's coming from, man. All this hard work, all this mouth has been doing, man. You know?
Again, we got a lot of inappropriate guests on our. I'm
Yeah,
just
it's all
playing.
good. It's all good, man.
We got to talk about my two favorite paintings from you. One is the Backstabber, and the other one is Jesus dressed in that East LA getup, man. And I sympathize with this. You said that you're a procrastinator too, and sometimes when you have, uh, it's I'm having it now. It's a vision block. It's writer's block. You go on
Yeah.
YouTube, you go to Pinterest, and you try and figure these things out. I really wanted to stress the inspirations behind these two.
I'm glad you brought up the backstabber because that's one of my favorite. Why? Because one of my favorite because I'm confined. I'm confined to a 8 by 8 by 8 room. And I'm confined into my own self. So I can go out there and take pictures and pose for people to pose. Grab my own references. So the backstory of the backstabber is that one of my favorite artists are mainly that the Renaissance era, sort of like Caravaggio or Rembrandt, and then you got the Sargents. But that that light to darkness, the which they call sfumato, and I always gravitated towards that. And the backstabber is something I accomplished all by myself. So each the woman, the princess, the queen, however the viewer interprets the painting, whether who is the backstabber, is it she or is it him? What's going on, right? But each component of that painting is it's each it's each its own reference that I was able to put it in Photoshop, create the lighting and everything, create the crown, put a crown, everything's a different reference. Then I go on and paint it in in a way of my understanding and my interpretation of what I'm really trying to get at, what what I'm trying to accomplish. And the backstabber is something I'm very proud of because it's from scratch. That's me. That's full artist. That's full and the mouth ninja right there. Yeah, he busted out the katana and everything, bro. And but yeah, I'm real proud of that because that's all me. That's all scratch, and not the other things aren't scratch. They are, but this is all a whole thing behind it, which I like the backstabber because who's doing the backstabbing, because is it the soldier, his her or her husband? Who is it? Her guardian, or is it she? Fully vulnerable, So it's up to you who the backstabber is. You let your imagination run wild and cast for colors, which is you know uh Christ and rocking that, that blue and that red, Yeah, he's colorblind, for that stuff. So he got love for everybody. And the reason I did something like that, because when I was, in my teens, you can say, I was rocking that blue, I was rocking that blue. But I got so much love from all colors, from the red, from the black, whatever you want to call it, It's just a respect that matters, And as you grow up and mature, I grew up with my brother, looking up to my brother. And I grew up with people older than me. And so I had to do a lot of crazy stuff. just to change, just to keep up with with the older guys. I try to let them know, I could do this, I could keep up. But with all that comes with a lot of conflict. It's silly at the end of the day, but for sure, it's always been respect. No matter what you represent, if you give respect, you expect respect back. You know what I mean? And colors is just one of those things that, well, like, that would be dope if, like, Jesus were to come in the hood and be like rocking that red and that blue with the staff. Like, I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna beat your ass. If you're rocking this, I'm gonna beat your ass.
Seeing Jesus in that light, being able to transcend those different color barriers and dress like us, look like us,
How do you say? It's just somewhere where you can see yourself in that same situation, or you can see yourself, how Jesus in you, or however you want to put it. And as growing up in Texas, moving to Cali, I saw the little segregation going on. Because in Texas, in the South, bro, we all love, man. With color for us, it ain't nothing about black, white, or Hispanic. It's about the color you're rocking. What east side, you east side? You south side? No matter you're black or white, you got the white, white kids rocking blue, being Cribs, being Bloods, Hispanics, Cribs. That's how when they would be like, oh, you a Hispanic Crib? And I was like, yeah, but gotta stay on my lane. I know where I'm supposed to be at. I know who I'm not gonna be. I know what I'm not gonna do. And so, that's why I graduated school I graduated high school in 3 years because I had to bounce, bro. I had to bounce, and I don't talk about this mainly, in my social media life, but yeah, I went through some things that, I'm not really proud of. But I mean, we all go through that, and we all grow up, and that's just life, man. It's just learning. I love learning. I love growing. And now being in this situation, my some of my best friends are twice my age, or more. Like my friend Mike, shout out to my friend Mike. And he comes every week, and we're like brothers, man. He's 80, I'm 32, but we're like brothers. We just discuss him.
I have to ask: is Mike the gentleman the first picture on your Instagram? I have to assume this
Yeah,
gentleman on the
yeah,
Instagram he's a firefighter because the portrait of him
yeah,
is a firefighter. Is that Mike?
yeah. I met him through Joel. Through Joel, Joel was ministering me, through the Word of God. We would read, the Word of God, and just minister, and just, what we think about it. I would read the scholar. I would read the scholarly version of the Bible. So, like a scholarly Bible, you read it, right? But at the bottom, it would be like a scholar input of what, in a non-bias, in an objective way, what how this could how this verse or that verse is interpreted as, how it coincides or coexists with this other verse, and go to this verse so you could get more context, that type of Bible. And that really helped because, you could go, okay, I could get more context of, what this, how Jesus spoke in parables, how what context I can get. So a scholarly Bible kind of helped in a way to get more understanding, and it helped me get a grasp of not only God, but a grasp of my own life, of the free will we got. In other words, try to pursue the fruits of the Holy Spirit, which is graciousness, joyfulness, all the good things God could give. That's all I can say, man. Because I've been procrastinating on that too. So I'm not gonna pretend like I'm over here reading Bible back and forth. No, man, I've been procrastinating, but I know that I hold true to my grounds in what I do for sure, and especially in the situation I'm in. I'm fully aware, but at the same time, you can't overthink. I can't overthink what I'm going through. It's a lot. It's a lot that could go wrong, or so it's isn't. But don't get me wrong, it's no different than you and I. Not to be pessimistic, but all of a sudden I could just go at heart attack, or I get disconnected. You could go outside and you didn't look both ways, get ran over, or same thing, heart attack or something, but we can't live like that, thinking, overthinking what can happen, what cannot.
You said you were a learner, and you did mention some of your certificates. I know you got the ultimate drawing course down, and
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
I just wanted to know, being a student of the game, of actually the mastery of art. Me being a fan of the interviews I give. I look up to the Robert Pierce, the Pierre Roberts. I'm sorry, the Howard Sterns, the Terry Grosses. When I play music, I look up to my idols as the gauge, which sucks because I be playing. I'm like, damn, I can't play for nothing. Would you consider going back to school for art or even for Bible? What are your aspirations to continue to
hold on,
learn?
pause on that. Hold on, I'm just having a spasm. Not bad for that, bro.
No worries, bro. Trust me, I know. I'm fully aware.
I'm having that Harlem shake, bro. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, man. Just a faster pace.
I want to point out again, just for the people, how you dressed ready to go. He got the matching blue representing the
Yeah,
colors, had his best hat
yeah,
and hoodie on. Cause
yeah,
I know with your condition, it's like chronic pain all the time, and it's like
yeah, yeah,
it's a constant cold. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Especially being
yeah, yeah,
bedridden. So, your higher learning. Do you want to continue having all the stuff that you do? It could be daunting to go back to school. Where are you at on that?
it depends what lane I'm trying to get to. What style I'm really getting trying to focus on, which is I'm all over the place to be honest. But going back to another to more learning and and all that, I wouldn't supposed to need that. As opposed to an animator, or illustrator, or someone for how can I say, for someone that really needs to learn about anatomy and how this muscle does that when this stretches like this or like that or moves this way. But as what I do, not really, man. I'm more really self-taught. It's more about style now. It's about more connecting with your audience and your audience with you. And then just doing your thing, and if people like it, they're liking it. They don't, well, they don't like it. But nowadays, it's mainly self-taught. A lot of self-taught artists out there, especially on social media, because now social media acts that's your portfolio, pretty much. Get access. Depends how you compose your social media pages. It almost acts as a portfolio. Not trying to say that they'll get your professional job in a professional field, in a professional situation, right? With movie production, etc. But it is it is a it's good to know the basics. It's good to know how to have a to have a building block, where you could always refer to, because I noticed that I have to have a foundation of drawing, and drawing is a foundation of painting, but I did the reverse of that, which is it's unorthodox for sure. But there's people could do, it's and now it's all really orthodox. It's very one way street and art from what I've heard in a lot of podcasts and everything. And I've also learned that there's a statistic where I don't know with Patrick Bet David podcast, um where now our degree is one of the less used degrees in our society now, because it's now off of experience, and a lot of students don't get the experience, the one-on-one experience. Let's say you're a client of mine. See, I would then go start with question of question, just like you as a interviewer, what points to hit, where to lead the interview. But in this case, we're just flowing, we're just going, with the topics, but it's sort of like that, But education in that sense of and the art, I don't think so, man.
It's not like you're just spitballing it though. You know the names. You studied Andrew Tischler and I can't say his name. I want to say Estantos or uh, and Rodriguez
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Rodriguez. You know Aaron Blaze too. You know you've
yeah.
researched it. You've studied. You know for me in this field, the most gratifying things that could happen is when somebody says thank you for the work. You know, if I have an interview with somebody that's really big name that I look up to and they say, you know what, phenomenal job. That's a score on my rep. If somebody that's listening has one of those stories like you have no idea how much this chat has inspired me, thank you. You know, that's my validation and vindication that I've done my job right, that I'm doing the right thing. You know, Bladeface 197 tagged you in Amsterdam. And it was a
Yeah.
good tag too. I was like, you know, could you express to me the feeling of being indoctrinated in not just your culture, but you know now it's something where it's like your work is so good that it has inspired others to work. And who is another artist that you hold in high esteem, and you're like, you know what, they congratulated me on this work, and it was, you know, that was my moment. I really was able to enjoy.
It's very gratifying, putting my work out there, and I also there's also a lot of good mouth and foot artists out there as well, aside of me. I mean, not at my level, but I ain't trying to, but not at my level. But hey, I I follow them. I like their stuff. Hopefully they could get some inspiration of how I am doing things. Maybe they can ask any questions. And I'll, I feel free to ask, anything. But someone that I hold higher that has complimented me also has been like Devon. I've known Devon for a while, and before he really popped off, and he's a real good artist. He could paint real well, he could draw real well, and when I did a portrait of him, dude, I was surprised how that came out. I was surprised myself how good I can draw, and it just that and other people that follow me. It's just a lot that you could keep up with. Some people come up to will tell me, "Oh, so and so follows you," you know. Hey, dude, I didn't know like four of my friends follow you. And so I'm like, yeah, it's just social media is just a whole different thing, you know. It's worldwide and it's gratifying, man. It is. It makes you want to keep going, but you also got to be careful, not to, not to feed your ego too much, where it's just where you think you're you're the only one. I'm sure there's someone out there that's better than me, like Joni Erickson. She's she's a mouth artist that was really really good at what she was doing, But yeah, people like that have paved the way, whether it's with a disability or ability, you know. It's it's just those people that make you want to say, I did this. Sorry about the noise.
No, Papa, you're good. I hear you perfectly. I hear you perfectly.
If I were to set like a regular mic, bro, all you would hear is like a bunch of machines. You would hear alarms, obviously the commotions, the family members, the other patients. It's so loud, dude. It's so loud. That's why I like these headphones because it just cancels all that noise. But that's like I was saying, bro. Yeah, man. Yeah. I appreciate all the supporters. All the love, all the comments, the opinions, and everything that comes with it. Even the haters, even the haters, man. Come on, keep hating, bro.
Hate is good. It feeds me. It feeds me. Yeah, man. And just to be the cynical man, I just love how everything you do it's getting in, it garners a really big response from people even if they don't know what it is. I ain't gonna hold you. The first artwork I saw were some lips with the heart, and I was thinking I was on the wrong thing on Instagram. I was like, oh, I'm on the Naughty America page. I gotta swipe off real quick. I and then I went back, and I was like, oh, and then again, of course, I was able to find your website and just see the masterful work you do. You know, I have to bring it out, man. Pierce Brosnan follows you. I don't know if you're a 007 fan.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. Dude, this is the first time I know this. I didn't know
That's the first thing I saw. I was like, oh, sheesh, yo.
because I follow him, or is it on Facebook? I don't know because I follow him, but because he's really kind of discreet with his posts. Shout out to Pierce Brosnan, man. He's uh he's a real artist himself and an advocate as well to art and curating art as well. And yeah, he supported a lot of artists. Who wouldn't draw 007, bro? Who wouldn't draw? Who wouldn't draw? But man, this is the first time knowing about it. Yo, Pierce, much love. Yo, I appreciate it.
Your name is among the ranks of The Rock, Michael Douglas. I'm just scrolling through now to see who he follows. I might follow some too, bro. But I not that's your next project, bro. I need a double O. I'll commission it for you. 007.
I need to do a 007 for sure. Digital and a traditional version.
What are your aspirations as far as collaborations? You've had some in the past, very notable names. You even sent some to me. I even read them off, but I feel like with the numbers you have, the sky's the limit. You can go to any company. You can go to GLD and be like, "Hey man, let me get some goals so I can do my videos right." You can reach out to the publicists and not be dismissed. If say you wanted to work with, rest in peace. Say if Kira Toriyama was still with us, or if you wanted to reach out to Todd McFarlane or etc. What do you feel would be your aspiration as far as working with companies, working with others? Because now, like I said, it's just that you're so busy.
Yeah. Well, not only that, it's I'm busy, but trying to organize. Oh, post this, do that. Oh, check this email, check the store, check the website, check the Facebook. I want to go to YouTube. But you know how social media could be. It could be a quite demanding. Those numbers didn't get up there by themselves as well. You know what I mean? Because that consistency, being persistent. But now I want to focus more on my art. So right now I'm trying to get on Fiverr and see if I could get an editor, or someone that maybe could, because here with and I appreciate all my nurses and caregivers. They'll be helping me. They'll take a shot of me. I'll be like, last night I'll be like, yo, can you take a little quick shot of me doing, sketching here, finishing this drawing. All right, can you just take a shot on this side real quick. So I'm trying to build a library where I could just because I'm a one man show, bro. I'm a, I'm a, I'm a, I'm, you know, I'm a ninja, bro. I know everything, yeah. And I'm not to brag, bro. But I edit my stuff and everything, but it is time consuming. It's time consuming, so I'm trying to really organize myself in a way, the most efficient way, so I could focus on the art, and not the art of the algorithm or because you gotta feed the algorithm and all that stuff. I do want to. I owe a. I owe Brent Rivera collaboration. Kind of ghosted him by because of my health, but I need to hit him up. Brent Rivera's it's pretty big in on YouTube. He has a lot of fans that look up to his projects and really fun content. So I need to hit him up. Trying to be efficient with the time that I have. Because it's not every day that I wake up, I'm okay. Okay, I'm gonna take an interview. That's why I'm like, you want to do the interview right now? I could do it right now. Because I feel okay. Because all of a sudden, my condition changes. I'm in pain. I'm in discomfort, and just yeah, it's very daunting at times. Very daunting. Very just sometimes you just don't want to do nothing. And yeah, man, that's just the reality of it.
I think of when Rob Deerdeck says when you're in a space where you don't want to do anything, you're struggling to get out of it. He said something along the lines of just do something, but he said it more tastefully, like get creative. I at least when I struggled with that time during the pandemic to be creative, it's like it was hard. It's like everything I didn't feel like it was up to par. I'm tired. I'm working 20 out of the 24 hours a day. Just trying, just that one step will push you off that ledge to get going again. But I really don't think people understand your condition and the condition of people that are in nursing homes. Even when the home
Yeah,
itself is a good environment and the people do care to try and help, there's so
yeah,
much, people are alone, people are suffering. So for you, again, like I said, really want to stress you saying yes after the mishap I created.
yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't think that, I'm lucky for that. I'm very gracious for your time. Um,
And likewise for the all the for the your research and really going into important topics. You know, um, and that just keep going, bro. Be consistent in what you're doing, and you pop off for sure. I got some plans going on right now that has uh um Jason Page involved.
with,
Uh,
with,
so
Hey, we talking
you know
Pokemon page?
Jason Page, yeah,
Another
yeah. I haven't. Now I
lot.
haven't really spoken to him or reached out to him, but it's in the network with them. I don't want it's what I'll give him a shout out. It's Fat Rabbit Network, merchandise.com. But things are changing, so but I know Jason Page is I'm amongst with one of those celebrity, which they want to put me as a celebrity artist. But hey, what it's like, yo, I appreciate it, and yeah, I try not to uh blow my whistle too much.
You got
Like
to,
toot
man.
my
Come on,
horn.
this is
I
what
ain't
you
trying to.
do.
Yeah, but cause I've had some losses, bro. I've had some bad losses, bro. With NFT, it wasn't much of a loss, but a loss of time, of work. You know, I did NFT and had a contract going on, and all of a sudden the NFT and market just went down, and everything just went. We had an angel investor, and just things went south. So yeah, man, you got to take those losses as well, but it's all part because the journey is part of the process. It's part of learning, and that's why I try not to toot my horn too early, and miss a note. Be like, what was that? Huh? What note was that? You know what I'm saying? So I try to keep it low key. Try to keep it humble. As we all should, and you know, mm, and it's all good news, man. It's all good news. It's all composing, being composed yourself to where you want to be and how you want to be, and actually live that way and act that way. And it's not always easy. It's not always gonna be, workable. But that's just how I see things. For myself. I kind of see where I want to be and where I'm gonna be at. If that makes sense.
I do have some wisdom though. I had a very, very important person that he recognized the work I was doing at that time at the radio station. And hindsight 2020, it saved me, but he was right. Um, I was doing all this work, I was getting all this praise, but the higher ups weren't seeing it. And when my opportunity came, they said my name, and they thought it was somebody else with the same name. But he told me something. He said, "Listen, it's good to be humble. That's not the problem. But if you do the work, put it out there. It's not. It's
Yeah.
not. It's not being arrogant
Yeah.
if you present like, "Hey, I'm working with so and so. Check it out." So I just want
Yeah.
to. I want to because you're saying Jason Page. You got Pierce Brosnan. I'm like, you know what? This Negro
Yeah. Yeah.
probably knows Angus Young. He probably knows Fat Joe. Probably knows Joe Rogan. He probably had all these things lined up. He just didn't tell
Yeah.
nobody. And now I'm missing out because I can't enjoy his wins.
Yeah. They're just, they're in hindsight. You know what I mean? They're hindsight things that possibly could go, but who wouldn't want to go to Joe Rogan, man? Who don't want to sit there with Joe Rogan, just have a talk, bro? You know?
I gotta know what your hobbies are, cause I got dudes on Instagram killing me on Call of Duty. They same situation, neck down. They got these controllers. They be using their mouse, and they just be killing people like. I think he was the mouth assassin. But what are some
Yeah.
of the things you do to, step back, release?
Because definitely, just jamming out and maybe scrolling, scrolling for a little bit. But like a hobby, as you could say, just trying to really, I'm really confined to what I can do and what cannot. I was playing video games. Check out Rocky No Hands. I don't know if you've seen them. But yeah, stuff like that. A little Harlem Shake.
Go ahead, bro.
Just what I'm saying? But it's just things like that. But hobbies, dude, it's hard, bro. Sometimes I'm in pain, discomfort, I'll be spasming like this. And yeah, bro, it's the reality of it. But I just try to, step back sometimes. And then, it's not much I could really do. And but hopefully things, I'll be going home and things will get easier or harder. I don't know. It's just very my situation. It's very difficult, having a clear path for hobbies.
Where are you now? Because there's this one girl on social media, same situation, and she's fighting tooth and nail to stay independent. She's not in a nursing home, even though she can't paralyzed from the neck down. But I know the system is atrocious in helping those with disabilities, and it's just one firewall after the next. What is your situation? How have you handled it? And again, shout out to mom because you've been very vocal about her stepping and just saving all these fires and putting them out. What is your situation like at that place, at the nursing home, as far as paying bills and being on life support? Because people can't see it, but
Yeah,
you do
I'm
have,
on life support.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm on a ventilator. So, it's every day is a new day. Every day, it's s- you know, something I'm already used to. I'm already part of my life. It's a routine. It's sometimes it gets tiring, but they take care of me here. They got love for me here. And some people don't even know what I do, which I you know, like to keep it on the low. Sometimes I don't want to be like, can you draw this for me? Draw that for me? And I'm like, so I'll keep it on the real low. But which I like, which I like, keep my composure and stuff. But it's full care for me. It's full care. I'm 90% paralyzed, you know, ventilator dependent. And if I were to like to go home, it would be like full care. Mm, but other than that, nursing home is tough. It's tough. If you don't have someone to advocate there for you, it's tough, man. It's tough. You know, it's not, I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. But um, like right now, they're looking for me because they're trying to do treatment on me and stuff. Things like that. So yeah, dude, it's every moment they gotta do this to me, they gotta do that to me, and you know, I'm just been, it's just part of it, bro. It's just part of that. Man, can that being said, I gotta let these nurses, handle me. So.
Papa, I always end these interviews with the most important question. It's what's the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Man, there's so many. That's the thing. But the one that stands out is, you know, um, is having the consistency of of feeling uncomfortable, in the mind or in the body, because not only to accomplish something nowadays takes about 10 years. So just to put in perspective, how much I have to put in the work. So consistency is consistency and patience is a key to life and to build success. Yeah, consistency and patience is the key to build success in life.
I can't even say his name. It was such a powerful conversation. Henry Salas. You can check him out at henrysalas.com. He's the Mouth Ninja on Instagram. You have to see his beautiful artwork. Good sir, thank you so much.
Likewise, man. Thank you.
And everybody else, be smart, be mindful, rock on, and God bless. Ninja out.
Woo, baby, you listen to John the Ninja. All your ears are about to go on a vacation. John the Ninja's got what you need.